Epictetus's philosophy centers around the idea of detaching ourselves from the desire to win or please others, instead focusing on what is in our control and accepting things as they happen. By letting go of desires for outcomes beyond our control, we can find inner strength and peace, regardless of the result. Embracing failure and questioning our true desires allows us to overcome anxiety and see setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. The perspective of always winning lies in the satisfaction of living according to our own values, rather than being solely driven by external rewards. Epictetus highlights the problem of desiring outcomes that are beyond our control, using the example of a musician seeking applause from the audience. While the musician can control his performance, he cannot control how the audience will respond. By desiring something outside of his power, he experiences anxiety and disappointment, ultimately losing twice. Epictetus would argue that the key to always winning is to adopt the right mindset and focus on what is in our control, rather than being dependent on external factors. Thus, by letting go of desires for outcomes beyond our control, we can find inner strength and peace, regardless of the result. The philosophy of Epictetus emphasizes the idea that wanting to win or impress others is futile and can lead to defeat. By focusing on what is within our control and not caring about the outcome, we can always win. When we detach ourselves from the desire to win or please others, we become invincible because no external outcome can defeat us. Epictetus emphasizes the importance of staying out of competitions where we cannot control the outcome, and instead, focusing on our own actions. By embracing defeat and accepting things as they happen, we can always find victory in the inward satisfaction of living according to our own values. This perspective, though seemingly defeatist, actually empowers us to focus on our own growth and performance, rather than being solely driven by external rewards. Embracing failure is not what most people would do, and never mind consider how failure can benefit us. By removing the desire to win and instead focusing on performance, we can alleviate the pressure and find opportunities for improvement and learning. Epictetus highlights how fear is induced by desire, and by questioning what we truly want in a given situation, we can overcome anxiety. Paradoxical intention is a psychotherapeutic technique developed by Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and founder of logotherapy. The technique is used to treat recursive anxiety by repeatedly rehearsing the anxiety-inducing pattern of thought or behavior, often with exaggeration and humor. The technique is based on the idea that when people become afraid of something, they feel fear and want to avoid it. However, this avoidance can lead to a cycle of fear and avoidance that only reinforces the anxiety. Frankl noticed this cycle in one of his patients, a young physician who feared sweating profusely in the company of other people. But his fear of sweating made him even more fearful, which only made him sweat more. Frankl then used a pretty unconventional method that ultimately cured his patient: paradoxical intention. Paradoxical intention encourages individuals to face their fear head-on and actually desire and wish for it as a means of conquering it. The technique is essentially a way to trick oneself by replacing the object of our desire with a statement that seems contradictory to it. The idea of seeking failure as an objective, as seen in Viktor Frankl's paradoxical intention, can help us transform failure into something positive. From a Stoic standpoint, it is not losing itself that causes harm, but rather our attitude towards it. By not fearing losing and even welcoming it, we can avoid suffering and make defeat a victory in its own right. Thank you for watching. As always, subscribe, like, hit the notification button and comment below on your take.